Welcome back, everybody, to the Fahim Anwar Dance Hour
Hello.
podcast.
It's been a week or two,
Dang.
but that's what we do, though. That's what we're known for.
We keep people on their toes.
Yeah.
Will you get it? Will you not? We're like groundhogs. Will we see our shadow? Our podcast shadow.
I love how we go against every kind of norm of social media, where it's like consistency every week on that time.
Like every rule to be successful.
Yeah.
We buck that trend.
We're just like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I'm realizing that the world and our listeners need us more than ever.
That kind of feels nice, though, to be wanted like that.
Yeah. I've been listening to more. I've dived back into podcasts now. And I'm just not finding good episodes on like my usual favorites, you know?
Interesting.
So,
What are your go-tos?
oh, number one go.
This, obviously.
Obviously. I mean,
This is timeless. There's never any like lulls in this.
what was it?
Every episode's a banger.
Yeah. Every episode is.
Every episode, like you would think that we would have one off pod,
Nah,
but just like every one, we just like each one gets better and better.
because no one knows what to expect.
They don't know what to expect.
We don't have guests.
Sometimes, very rarely. Some might say, in a way that's not optimizing
Yeah.
the podcast format.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, I mean, because we're guestless, people are like, I'm going to tune in, and this conversation can go anywhere. It can be political. It can be about bestiality. It
Sure.
could be about the jabroni of the week. It could be about a whole array of things. And no one knows every time.
You know, I actually have a jabroni. I'm gonna save it.
Okay.
Right? Because we don't do jabronis up top.
I mean, we can. We break rules. Why not break this
That's
rule?
a good point.
Yeah.
That's what keeps this thing so fresh.
There you go. So let's hear it. Your jabroni.
My jabroni. All right. So I spent this weekend doing shows in Boston.
Yeah,
So I just
Boston.
flew back from Boston.
Yeah, just like an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Literally and metaphorically. My suitcase.
It's still packed.
It's still packed. All right. So my jabroni.
Yeah.
It's kind of a situation. Maybe it's like three people.
Mm-hmm.
Three people. It's like a team of jabronis.
Okay.
So it's like a tag team.
All right.
Even though tag team is normally two people,
Yeah.
this is like a 3-person tag team jabroni.
Oh, wow.
So jabroni.
Yeah, it's a pack of them.
A pack of jabroni.
Jabronites?
Jabroninites?
Jabronites.
I feel like you got to add another, because jabronites doesn't sound as good as jabroninites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jabronettes.
Yeah, like if they were a Motown group. The Jabronettes. Like on the Ed Sullivan Show.
They're
making their late night debut. The Jabronettes.
They're
They just aggravate the whole crowd with their jabroniness.
Yeah. So, okay. So this pack of...
Pack of jabronis.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the situation, okay? I was staying at the Westin Hotel in Boston.
Yeah.
And the comedy club is like, it's kind of in the, I don't know why I'm painting this picture for you, but why not? So I'm staying at the Westin Hotel, and then on the ground floor
Yeah.
is where the comedy club is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's like
Convenient.
the shortest trip I've ever had
Yeah.
between my hotel room and a comedy show in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The only way it would have been more convenient is if it was in my hotel room. I literally take the elevator down,
Yeah.
I walk a few steps, and I'm like inside the comedy club.
Wow.
And with that setup, you would think it would be the fucking worst show of your entire life.
Yeah.
But it's
Sounds
actually a very good room.
Okay.
So, but okay, this Westin, it's almost like a little city. There's a Starbucks in there as well.
Okay.
So today, I'm about to get my, I wake up I give myself some time,
Yeah.
try to get a meal in me, maybe some coffee. There's a Starbucks on that bottom floor.
Yeah.
That's why I tweeted today. I was like, because the panini was like $12 from Starbucks.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Starbucks? The balls to be Starbucks and
The
charge
audacity.
$12 for a panini.
Yeah.
For a fucking panini.
Yeah.
You're a coffee shop. Food is an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically a glorified sandwich from a 7-Eleven.
That's very true.
Or
yeah.
like, an AM/PM.
Yeah.
Or an Every Mile.
Yeah.
Or did I say Circle K already?
Nah.
All right, that's one.
A Wawa.
A Wawa for our East Coast
A
people.
Sheets.
A Sheets.
Yeah.
Any of these places. But those are actually good sandwiches. So I take those back. Those are places.
Okay.
And I was on a roll because you were just like throwing them in there.
I was just naming gas
You were just
station
naming,
spots.
but like Wawa and Sheets are known for their sandwiches.
I guess so, man.
Starbucks
Is okay.
is like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, oh yeah, we got a sandwich.
Yeah. It's like Dunkin' Donuts selling like pastrami sandwich. Like no one would go there for that.
Yes, it's sort of like some places they have food for when you like you're not doing life right.
Yeah.
Like you have fucked up your schedule. You've just failed at being an adult, where you just need sustenance, and you succumb to the situation. You go, I guess I'll get a panini from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Because it's either that or starve.
I love how this explanation of the jabronis went into like a 20-minute.
Well, I got to shit on Starbucks first.
Well, first we got to shout out to our sponsor, Starbucks. This
we're
episode is sponsored.
We're gonna do the ad read later, but that's advertisers got to know what time it is. That just because they're getting an ad read on the show,
we never said
doesn't make you immune
Yeah.
from getting shit on.
Yeah,
That's why people tune in, because they know that we come correct and we can't be bought.
exactly. Well, I mean, we're just free spirits right now on this
Free
podcast.
spirits.
So you go and get this panini, or
just let me rant on Starbucks.
okay.
So
fuck Starbucks.
Fuck Starbucks. I mean, they're fine, but like, what are they doing with sandwiches? And you see it in the display case.
Yeah.
And it looks like you're going to get that shitty sandwich as well. Like, you don't assume that you're going to get like a nice, fresh, like what you see in the display case looks like it's 3 years old. And you think that's the version that you're going to get too. So I'm like, I guess I'll get the panini. And then I have sticker shock from the $12 and I eat it and all that shit. But yeah, I'm not happy with that price point, Starbucks.
I mean, at that point, you were pinched for time, and what else?
I had to do it. I had to they had me by the balls. But I can't believe that they're charging 12. I just can't get off this topic. But like Panera Bread, they're fucking known for sandwiches.
Yeah.
And they're around $12.
Yeah.
And that's their jam.
Yeah. Potbellies.
Yes.
They on the East Coast and Midwest.
Like Starbucks in the sandwich department is a 3 that thinks it's a 10.
Even Subway, $5 footlongs. I mean, these places that like.
All right, so yeah, that's just like circumstantial jabroni.
Sure.
I want to give you people jabroni.
Okay, yeah.
So there's plexiglass because people have different COVID type situations going on. So I guess at the Starbucks, they have plexiglass between the employees and you. And then you have to have your mask,
yeah.
And then they have their mask on too. And then I'm ordering my thing. I'm like, can I get like a medium coffee and a panini? And she's like, what was that? And I'm like, oh yeah, can I get like a... And she has 2 coworkers behind her, and they're pals.
Yeah.
I don't like... Nothing wrong with friendship.
Sure.
But this is like... It's too much. It's like they're in the halls of middle school or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're enjoying their friendship a little too much during business hours.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's like break time volume.
Yeah.
But they're like having all this inside jokes behind these 2 ladies. Are just like so loud behind her.
Oh wow.
And she's like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh yeah, can I get like a coffee and a panini? She's like, I'm sorry, they're like I can't hear them over that. Well, what's that?
Oh my god.
And just that right there, the way she handled that moment.
Yeah.
Not, hey, shut the fuck up, guys, or hey, there's a customer, can you guys be quiet?
Yeah.
It's, I can't hear you over what's going on here. Like she's a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
And has no control over the professionalism.
And she couldn't say anything. Okay.
Yes. So it's just like that level of like helplessness in a situation you have all the control over.
Yeah, you work there. They're
you
your
work
coworkers.
there. Yeah, and you're all friends. I know you're friends, and I'm not. It's great you have friends.
Yeah,
but there's a time and place.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to take an order. Like, what are you supposed to do at that situation? Pull down the mask. Like, what are you supposed to do? I'm
just having to repeat myself a bunch of times.
Yeah, and there's nothing. Yeah, that's all you can do.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a sign of getting older.
No. Jabroni.
All right.
I have a it's a Reddit topic instead of am I the asshole? Am I the jabroni in this situation? A week ago, maybe it was a week, maybe it was 2 weeks, I don't know. A couple Fridays ago, my cousin and I and his roommate go and grab some Chinese food, and we're sitting. They give you the little number 2 thing, right? Or like, oh, we'll bring your food out to your number. So I first, at the register, I place my order. They give me the little number. I sit down at like this table. It's like a communal table. Sit down, and my cousin and his roommate place their order. at the cashier. I don't know what they've ordered. I don't know what modifications they made or how big their order is. I sit down. They bring out my food. Like, okay, thank you. Then as I'm eating, they're bringing out like food just staggered. Like it's not all at once. It's like whenever it's made, they just bring it out. They just bring it out. So everyone's wearing masks. We're sitting, it's loud. And they keep bringing the food over and they keep asking me, is the tofu yours? And I'm like, I didn't order tofu. Could be theirs. I don't know. Ask them. And the lady's still like hovering over my head with tofu. And I'm trying to get my cousin and his roommate's attention from across the table. And I'm like, hey, you guys, yeah.
Is this your tofu?
Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, put it down. Okay, great. I'm back to eating. And then lady comes out with the beef noodles, whatever. Hey, is the beef noodles yours? Oh, I don't know, but can you ask them? Now, again, hey, you guys, hey, hello. Is this yours? And
so like, you work there now?
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, it's ours. Put it down. I'm like, okay. A third plate comes out, and they ask me the same thing. Now I'm like frustrated. I don't snap.
Sure.
But I'm very.
The tone is shifted.
The tone shift for a split second.
Sure.
I came very aggressive, or not aggressive, but just very to the point. I was like, hey, next time when they come, can you please pay attention? And then like they both like shot up like, where did that come from?
You're just seething the whole time through their meal.
Yeah.
Because they don't know even bothered like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. And so, because they're like stuffing their faces, they're in their own little bubble. And I'm like, hey, can you guys just pay attention next time? Just give her a yes or no. That's it. And they're like,
whoa.
Okay.
What crawled in your butt?
But then I didn't like let that ruin the day. Anyways, from there, I was like, all right, so like we're just eating and just talking and just like I'm carrying on. But apparently they held on to this the entire night. They had a conversation amongst themselves. Like, did we do like what like, and then the next day I get a phone call like, yo, what was that?
Whoa, phone call.
And I'm like, I didn't do anything. And this man's trying to like say that I'm the jabroni. But I'm like, you guys were the jabroni. You guys ordered the food. You guys knew what you ordered. You guys should have been paying attention. Who's the jabroni in this situation? Maybe the listeners got to write in and let us know who the jabroni is.
Is this like the pie situation all over again?
Yeah, man. I was like, yeah, I got a little snappy. Snappy as the extent of it. I didn't curse at them. I didn't yell at them. Sure. I didn't,
You just got them to pay attention.
I just was very sharp where I was like, you guys need to start paying attention and just respond to the lady, because why am I anyway?
So this was happening on my flight. I kind of, when the thing's bubbling up when you're just explaining that story, like just kind of like seething anger, and you're like, do I snap or not?
Yeah.
So I mean, I want to do a stand-up. I feel like every episode it's always like I want to do a stand-up, but I never get around to do all these bits that I have. But I think the ideas are novel. So this will always happen, or not always, but enough times where I've been on a flight where a couple will be like, they have separate seats, and they're like, oh, do you mind if we trade seats? So, and then, okay, in this instance, this couple, they both have middle seats, and they're in front and back of each other. And so, they're asking the people in my row and the people in the row above, like, oh, my wife and I, we have separate. Does anybody want to? Who the fuck is gonna sacrifice their aisle or window seat for a middle seat?
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit about your love to fuck myself over for 5 hours.
Yeah, now
on a flight from Boston to LAX. Just like, do you know how deals work?
Yeah.
What are you bringing to the table? Like, what's in it for me? And not even in a selfish way. It's just sort of like, you're asking me to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
Just so you and your wife can sit next to each other. Yeah. Like, take 5 hours off. Or buy the Wi-Fi and text each other.
Yeah.
Okay? Sometimes there's free...
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Yeah. Free texting.
Free texting. Just send her messages and emojis.
Yeah.
Okay? You see each other all the time.
Play fucking Connect 4.
Yeah, you don't need to ruin my life for 5 hours just because you can't bear to be apart for 5.
Yeah, that's a bit...
So everyone is just like, in a very kind of like elusive way, like saying no.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, no. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's okay. Okay. And so they're sitting. And then they're messaging on the phone. So I'm sitting in the aisle seat, and they're passing it. The guy's passing it to his wife. She's taking it, reading it, passing through the whole fucking flight.
The whole flight.
A lot of it. And I'm trying to watch the TV, and I just see like this hand passing through it. And
are you in the row of one of them? Are you
I'm the dude's right next to me.
Oh, so you're the one. Okay, you're sitting next to the guy.
I'm sitting next to the guy who's passing it forward. It's like you're trying to watch some shit, and you see a hand come in like that's
obnoxious.
Every 10 or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like he's not in my space or anything, but visually it's very annoying.
Yeah.
And part of me was just like, it's one of those no-win situations because like technically he's not like doing anything overtly egregious. He's not in my space.
Yeah.
He's just doing something very annoying.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's that in between where it's not big enough and not small enough not to be annoying.
Yeah.
So part of me, I was just like fantasizing. I'll be like, hey, can you stop? Can you stop that?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to watch something and it's just very visually distracting. Your hand going through the gap.
Yeah.
Every minute.
Yeah, that's a bit.
But then it would have been weird, and it's not. Some I didn't.
It's just too much. If you
say
like, anything,
what kind of person are you? Were you?
It's just a very weird thing to do.
Yes.
Both of you have phones. If not, charge your phone. Each flight now has, seat chargers.
I almost wanted to be like, yo, I'll pay for both of your Wi-Fi's so you can text each other.
That's so obnoxious. I was in a situation when I was flying last time from DC. I don't know if I brought this up. This guy was in Economy Plus, and this woman had to have her service dog.
Right.
Did we talk about this?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But it was one of those situations where it got to the point where this guy was like arguing about giving up his seat that I was like, bro, take my seat.
He was the equality.
Yeah.
It was the brown Karen.
The brown Karen. Yeah. So
that's like an aspirational story.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where you're just like, well, good for you for being a brown Karen.
Yeah. He's the Jackie Robinson. Of Karens.
But it was just like, it's one of those things where you're like, I will give this up just so you could shut the fuck up, you know? But I feel like now that you brought this up about giving up seats, because I've been asked multiple times if I want to give up my seat. Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm like, give me $100 in cash. It's yours.
That's a good point.
Like, or $50.
Mm-hmm.
$50.
I'm a big proponent of just asking for what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me 50. The seat's yours.
And I could tell, so I'm sitting in the aisle seat, and I could tell that there was like another group over here that was about to ask me if I wanted to trade seats, and then maybe it would be like an aisle for an aisle.
Yeah.
But I was just so comfortable. I was already situated that even if they asked me, I would have said no. Just because I didn't want to get up. And I feel like that's next level. Yeah. Where like you have no reason to say no.
Yeah.
Yet you still do. Because you're like,
it's a power move.
My backpack is down there. My coat is there.
Yeah.
I'm comfy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get up.
Yeah, it's a power move at that point.
I kind of wish that they would have asked me so I could just say no. And put my headphones back in. So I was inspired from the last time that we talked, your shuttle move. And I was like, oh, let me try the shuttle move this time.
All right, yeah.
Because normally I always walk to the LAX lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I do the Uber from there.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm just going to take the first shuttle that shows up to take you to the car rental place.
Yeah.
And then get an Uber from there.
Yeah, yeah.
So Hertz rolls up.
Okay. I've been on that one.
All right. So I hop on that. And there's now, they must have done this as a new thing. The guy's like, do you have a reservation? There's like a guy who's like helping people with their bags. He goes, do you have a reservation? And I'm just so dumb. I haven't done it a lot. I said, I'm going to get it there. And he's like, no, you gotta have one. You can't do one there. And I'm like, why not? Why can't I just get one there? And they're like, because it's going to be closed. Or he gave me some sort of excuse. And I'm like, so I can't get one there? And he's like, no. And everyone's like looking at shit. And I'm like, okay. And then I get off.
Oh, no.
And then in hindsight, I should have said yes.
Yeah.
Because he's not checking everyone's reservations, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I fucked up in the moment. So I get off of that. And then the very next moment, this other rental thing comes up.
Round two.
Yeah, I think it's called Sixt or something.
Yeah, Sixt. Yeah.
So then I hop in that.
Yeah.
Some people get off. I get on. I'm the only one on there.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm just sort of like, because I'm trying to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I want to be like a wildebeest.
Yeah.
Just crossing the Serengeti, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm the only guy in this thing. And we're passing, and I'm trying to see if the driver can tell anything's up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, does he know that I'm scheming? Did he see my eyes or anything?
Yeah.
And like, no, okay, all right, I'm passing so far. And then we pass by some other terminals, and I hear him on the radio like, I've got one. And I'm like, oh no. Is he communicating with like I don't want people to have tabs on me.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got one. And we pass all these other terminals, nobody else is on, and it's just me. And I'm like, fuck.
They're onto you.
I feel like I'm in too deep.
Yeah.
So then I like Google Sixt. I'm like, what is this? And it's like a luxury car rental place. And
I mean, they say that, but it's not. But yeah.
But I'm like, oh no. I'm trying to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And luxury car rental place. That's more exclusive. There's less people, you know, at that price point. There's not going to be as many people renting a car from there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh no. And then I'm trying to look at pictures of the place. Like, is it big enough where it looks like I can get lost?
Yeah.
And it looks kind of boutiquey. And I'm like, oh no. So then finally we pull in, and there's other shuttles there, and there's people.
Oh, nice.
But then I don't want the drivers. Like, it's just too small.
Yeah. I know exactly. I was at that.
It's too small to like get lost in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. Because it would be so obvious if I just bounced.
Yeah.
There were too many people who would just like see me bounce, like employees and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm in this weird purgatory where I'm just like kind of killing time, like putting my jacket on and just trying to figure out what to do with my bag.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I have this plan B, which is just to like pretend I have a reservation. So I go in there just because they're looking at me and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So I go in very confidently, you know, and I'm like, yeah, hi, I think I have like a white Nissan Versa.
Oh man, you're playing this.
I'm playing it, dude.
Let's get you the Oscar.
This is the actor in me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think my manager reserved like a white Nissan Versa for me. Like, oh yes, we can help you right here. What's your name? And I'm like, yeah, Fahim Anwar, last name Anwar. And he looks it up. He's like, don't see you in here. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't see you in the system. I go, okay, try it again. It's A-N-W-A-R. He's like, yeah, I don't see it. I go, oh, that's so weird. He told me that. All right, can you check under his name? And I give that name, and they go, it's not there. I go, all right, let me call him, you know.
Yeah.
So then I just kind of like, he's in his own world.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone, and I'm like, now it's absurd. Like, I go outside, and I'm like, I'm a fucking grown man.
Yeah.
And I'm pretending that I'm like on the phone with someone who was like booking my car.
Yeah.
And just waiting for him to stop looking at me, you know?
Yeah.
And then he like turns away, and I'm like, yeah, well, okay. And then I see that no one's looking, and then I just kind of get out of there.
That's when you.
And then, yeah, I order the Uber and shit. But I'm like, I'm too old to be doing this. I don't need to save what little money to avoid that like tap dance.
Oh, okay, it's not a little. It's like a lot of money. It's like $50 to $100 that you're saving. But okay, so here's some tips, because I've been in this situation.
Oh yeah.
You get on the shuttle, they ask you, you always say yes, I have a reservation.
Yeah.
You know, do you have your confirmation number, blah, blah, blah? No, I don't, but they're going to pull it up. It's under my name, booked, whatever. Whatever you say yes, they'll never, ever ask.
Pull it up.
Yeah, they'll never look for, you know, you can say, oh, my phone is dead. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
A million things. They'll never ask. Say yes. Once you get on, if they are keeping an eye on, just walk in and just walk right back out. That's all you got to do. Walk in. And then like take a beat, maybe 30 seconds, or walk out. But there's multiple exits on every car rental spot you go to. You can walk into the garage where all the cars are at, because Sixt has that.
Yeah.
You can walk out that side door into the garage, or if you're at
So walk in, walk
Thrifty,
out.
yeah. And that's if they're paying attention. The best one is Enterprise. Enterprise, you get off the shuttle and you walk into this little parking lot in the front, and then you just call. Well, you should call the Uber when
You're on the
on
shuttle?
the way. So it arrives, right when it gets there. Even if it gets there a little early, that's great because you come right off. They say anything, you're in the car and you're out of there.
You already have a getaway vehicle?
Yeah. So I've been in that situation a few times where I was like, oh, they're keeping a watchful eye, but I'm like, fuck it, you'll never catch me, and I'm just like rolling away.
Isn't it super obvious though?
Yeah. But who gives a shit?
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So, what you save in money, you pay for in shame. And if you can stomach it, hats off to you.
Yeah. Because, look, honestly, these places don't pay their employees enough. The, turnover rate of employees there, it's very high.
That's pretty funny. Like, if they don't tackle people at CVS who are stealing shit,
yeah.
Like, who's going to do...
Yeah.
Who's going to stop someone from walking off of Enterprise's premises? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if they're not going to do anything for something way more egregious,
yeah,
they're not going to do that for
but they're coming in and out, they're being fired and quitting. So they're not going to remember faces. We're wearing masks. So you can do this.
Well, that's a good point.
So many times and they'll never know you're that guy unless you make a big scene and stuff. But always have the getaway car there waiting for you. And another tip is right when the shuttle is pulling up, you have, while people get off, you still have enough time to Google the location. Is it Enterprise, Thrifty, Avis, whatever it is, it'll say the address. So when they say, do you have a reservation, say, the one on is this the one on Aviation? Yep.
Yep.
That's it.
I got it.
Yep. That's it. That's all you got to... Every time they ask, do you have a reservation? Is this the one on Airport Way? They're like, yep.
They go, oh, fuck, he knows the address. He must know.
That's the one. I got a reservation at that one. But yeah, that's the
technique.
That's the shuttle hack. But we've had a long week, man. You were in Houston just last week.
Right.
You did a Hasan's show. How was that? Was it 2 days?
It was 3 days. So
wow.
Flew into Houston, did 2 shows there. Then we took the tour bus to Dallas.
Oh, man. Okay.
And then from Dallas, we Ubered, nice, or we had a car, whatever, a nicer,
sure,
just trip to fucking, what was it, Austin. So 2 shows in each city.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm back in Austin this week.
Wait, 2 shows in each city. Okay, so 2 Friday and Saturday.
Well, Friday 2 shows, Saturday
back
2
to back
shows, Sunday 2 shows.
These were
back to back.
Like a 7 and a 9.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, that's a lot, man. How was that? How was the?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice because I don't get to see Hasan that much.
Yeah.
So we got to catch up just on the tour. Do the shows. Those were fun too. Because he has a nice built-in audience, and those are some nice theaters, and
okay.
It's fun. It's different when you do a theater than a comedy club. It's slower. There's so much space on stage.
Yeah.
You're swimming in it. It's like bullet time in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's just a celebration of the material. You're not writing any new jokes.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. It's so presentational, and here it is, and so polished, and there's fun and there's joy in that.
Yeah.
But I love the club more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Because you can find things.
Yeah.
You can find new beats, and
the journey.
The journey.
It's the journey of
you discover.
Yeah.
You discover more in a smaller room. Whereas that's just it's kind of just reaping.
Yeah.
It's what is it?
So the small rooms, I feel like it's if you put it in a different context, it's rehearsal basically, and you're rehearsing for this big stage or the hour, but whatever. Even if it's not an hour, it's these bigger audiences and these massive.
It's like a jam versus an album. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jamming versus laying something down on wax.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. But it was cool to it's fun. I featured for Neil, I featured for some people before.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a nice mercenary job. You're like a Green Beret. No one's expecting anything. They're all there to see Hasan, right?
Yeah.
Some of his fans might know me just because there's some crossover.
Yeah.
Like I got some DMs afterwards from some people who were like, "Oh man, I had no idea that you were gonna be on."
Oh man.
But then there's a faction of them that have like no idea who I am.
Yeah.
So it's all just value added. Mm-hmm. And I'm only doing like 15 up top.
Yeah.
And it's like I could shit 15.
Yeah.
So it's super easy. There's like no stakes, and you get some new fans. You get to spend time with your boy. But then after a while, it gets a little repetitive, just like because I love switching up the set and trying new material. I love the nimbleness of 15-minute sets around town.
Yeah.
But when you're opening for someone, you're kind of doing a job as well. You're like setting the plate.
Yeah.
For them.
For the next show.
So like I can't like swing for the fences too much. Like I can't. Oh, I'm gonna try this bit, or I'm gonna, because I need to deliver a certain type of show.
Yeah.
So that the headliner can.
Yeah. That momentum just
ride
carries.
the momentum into their show. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I'm just hopping on a show in LA, like the Improv wants me to do something, or it's like somebody else's bar show, then I could just like fuck around.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
More than anything. But this was a nice, fun departure to do for a weekend. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, I don't know if I would want to do it for like, the whole tour.
Yeah, you were you in Houston during the whole Astro World
that
fiasco?
was fucking crazy too. So we're wrapping up. That's the other thing about, you just learn logistics about touring on a large scale like that too, because Hasan's show, he has like stage production stuff. Yeah, it's not just straight stand up. There's like
the stage,
there's
ship,
lights, there's all that. So he travels with it. There's a truck that goes separately with all the equipment. Mm-hmm. And so after a show, it takes 2 hours to like pack down, load it up. So we're just like waiting. We're just kicking it. We're in the green room, just talking, catching up, and all that. And then I'm just like looking through Twitter. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, 8 people are dead from the Astroworld concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just read more about it, and it's just craziness.
Yeah, that next day, weren't like all the videos kind of surfaced. Mm-hmm. More accounts, more people like sharing their accounts.
What's crazy? Before I went out to do those shows, remember on the last podcast, I was just kind of in relation to nothing, like, because this hadn't happened yet. I'm talking about the time I was at Lollapalooza.
Yeah, that's right. But
it came out after the Astro World thing, so it looks like it's commentary on that or something. But just, it's so weird that we recorded that before that happened.
Yeah, and I actually was talking to someone about that. They were like, yeah, if I do like a big festival like that, I want to get like only VIP. And I explained, I'm like, there's tiers. There's tiers to this VIP business, and the people in VIP were being hit too, like we're being affected by it. It's crazy because like I've been in my share of pits, like standing general admission pits, and then actual mosh pits where like shit's crazy. Mm-hmm. And there's been a concert, I'm sure I've talked about this in the last 3 years, where like there's this concert that I actually fell in the pit. It was a Prophets. I think it might have been that Lollapalooza episode that, like I fell in this weird way where the mosh pits go literally behind me. Like I can feel it like whiz, like people whiz by behind me. And I'm trying to film this one little segment of this song. And I'm losing balance because like it's just crazy. And I like fall over. And I fall like, okay, so there's like 3 rows of people like up against the barricade trying to watch a show. And behind those 3 rows of people, there's people just going crazy, jumping, moshing, pushing. And I fall in this little pocket between them where no one knows I'm there. Because if I fell in the center of the pit, in mosh pits, a few people would stop and help you up and be like, all right, you're good, let's keep going. Even random strangers would do that. So I'm falling in this weird place where no one sees me, and I'm getting trampled.
Right.
And I'm like in my head, I like had to like,
this is how I go.
Yeah, literally, I had to like cover up my head because I was getting stepped on. Mm-hmm. And in my head, I was like, is this how I go? Do I get trampled to death? And I have this tiny little like, and I look up, there's this tiny little opening of like people just like part, and my cousin just comes in and yanks me up. And there was like the ad.
There's like a light behind him.
Yeah, it's the Michelangelo painting.
Mm-hmm. And like a mosh Michelangelo painting.
Yeah, so like I get and I've been in other pits. I've been in festivals before.
All right, we get it. You've been in pits, dude.
But it gets...
The listeners get it. When you mosh.
I mosh,
You
man.
rock.
Also, I got a few meetings after this as well. It's a reference to it.
Oh, man. That's a deep throwback.
But, yeah, so it gets terrifying to a bit, and that's a small scale where I've been up against a barricade and people are just like pressing up, like once the main, because you could be up against a barricade the entire day for all the opening acts, like at festivals, and it's chill,
not a problem.
But the second the headliner comes in, everyone just starts like pushing forward, and you're just getting slammed up against this barricade. Your chest is like hitting this metal. So I mean, to think that like, what, it was like 50,000 or more people.
It was like 100,000.
Yeah, it was like 100, people were suffocating in those pits.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there and it's terrifying and I know how it is, but to go to that extreme where people, like, you saw the videos where like people are just laying on the ground and being like resuscitated, Or
what do you think? Like, responsible, not responsible? Did he know? Did he not?
Dude, everyone's responsible. Travis responsible.
Yeah. It's like a series of fuck ups.
Yeah. The crowd etiquette.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard that like the people who listen, like at Travis Scott concerts, are kind of known for being unruly and like breaking shit, taking down barriers. It's like part of it.
It's and I feel like a part of it's encouraged. I watched Travis Scott's little like quote unquote documentary. I don't really consider a documentary.
Do you eat his meal at McDonald's?
No, I don't like Travis Scott.
What?
I don't like his music.
But what about his food, his meal?
What's it called?
The Travis Scott meal.
No, it's Cactus Jack, right? That's what it is.
No.
Yeah, it's Cactus Jack.
Really?
That's his like alter ego kind of like.
Oh, really?
Little name,
But it's the Travis Scott meal at McDonald's.
That could have sworn it was a Cactus Jack meal.
No.
Maybe, is Cactus Jack his drink?
Maybe.
His alcohol?
Who knows?
I don't know. Well, listen.
Yo, you know what'd be great is like if I have an alcohol, like I'm so not famous enough.
What would you call it?
Yet I come out, huh?
What would you call it? Your tequila.
Man, you're putting me on the spot.
I would call it Lance Ganstopoulos.
All right.
I mean, if people are naming it their alter egos,
Mm.
might as well go with that.
Interesting.
But
That's a good like first pass.
Yeah.
I was gonna have it be called Jabroni for a second,
Jabronettes.
but then that has negative connotations to it. Nobody wants to.
Hey, you gonna pick up some jabronis with you?
Yeah, pick up some Jabronis for the barbecue.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's so many videos that came out. One of like the medic ambulance coming through the crowd and guys dancing on the fucking ambulance.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
pretty much just like Idiocracy.
Then the guy gets on Twitter and Instagram that says, look, we were there to rage. What happened sucks, but, don't be sensitive. Bitch, 9 people fucking died. The 9th one just passed away like 2 days ago. And that's how,
I'm wondering, because there's a disconnect when you're like super young like that, know, like even tragedy like this. It's like, I wonder the people who had tickets for like day 2. If they're like, these fucking people died.
Yeah.
Why'd they die? Like, I can't go to the concert tomorrow. Like, they probably don't care.
Yeah. Or understand
this
the
is all speculation, but
I'm sure there's individuals who definitely that crossed their mind. Because, I mean, jokes are coming out already about, I mean,
like they ruined it for all of us at day 2.
Yeah. Did you see that video of that girl who climbed the camera stand?
Yeah, I was like, stop.
Yeah, and the guy's yelling at her like,
stop it, I'm trying to get my shot.
Yeah. Because at that point there's nothing like
that just shows you all the layers of missteps.
Yeah.
Because the camera guy doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it was just confusion wrapped in confusion.
Yeah.
And no like policy and order.
Yeah. I mean, and like old videos of like other concerts, like Linkin Park.
People were saying that they're kind of different circumstances though. Like if it's a mosh pit, then that's different. Like this, like a crush, and it's called a crush, like a squeeze or a crush or something. A concert crush. That's like a very kind of specific type of phenomenon that is harder than just noticing someone fainting in the crowd or something, or a mosh pit getting out of control. There's just like literally. It's too much pressure and there's no space, and like people die standing up.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
Like the air gets squeezed out of their body.
Yeah,
and they can't inhale because they're getting crushed. So they'll die standing up.
Yeah. I've been in situations where like I was just getting pushed around where my feet came off the ground and I'm still moving. Like I'm still like going backwards. Whoa. And I like, you can't do anything. And it's like, and that's the thing where it's like, who can you wave to for help? Like, you know, they were trying to pull people out and they weren't even coming out. Like,
they should have like lifeguards. So it's like Baywatch.
Oh yeah, just little stands.
For that many people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, did I just do a reboot?
Fucking Fahim, man.
Fucking, I'm like,
you just $1 million idea. Right there. Let's start our own company. Let's start our lifeguard company.
Yeah.
And we plant lifeguards in the crowds.
Yeah, they have the torpedoes and everything, and they see somebody getting like crushed or something going on. Then the Baywatch music comes on.
Yeah.
Some people stand in the darkness, and you like dive in there.
Yeah.
And then you like swim and get them out, and you get them out of there.
That's how you do it, man.
And only like super sexy hard body people can have the job.
I mean, it's the only type of people that would be able to.
Yeah, like if you have 10% body fat, you can't save anyone's life.
Mm-mm.
Like they'll be barfing the whole time while they're getting saved.
I have 9.7 body fat.
Well, all right, you made it under the wire. You could be a lifeguard.
I signed up at this gym and they made me do like this whole like fitness evaluation.
Did they just like have the calipers?
Yeah.
And they like pinch your fat?
They're like,
oh boy. Or that'd be funny if they had like the bathtub and they sort of see your water displacement. Like they want to be really accurate.
Yeah. So I mean that was insane.
I don't know what my body fat is. How do I find out?
I have no idea. They made me just hold these random things and it.
But like, who cares? At a certain point, you know, like if you're training for the Olympics.
No, I care.
Or you're trying to get crazy shredded because you follow Instagram accounts and such. Okay. But if you're like an average person, why do you care what your body fat percentage is?
At a certain point, it just doesn't really.
If you're trying to break a record, okay.
Yeah.
But if you have like an accounting job, why do you need to know what your body fat percentage is? Just look in the mirror and be like, I like it, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's it. Just
thumbs up, thumbs down.
You just solved body dysmorphia right there.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even think that's related, but
a little bit. Do you ever notice sometimes I'll think I'm looking good or whatever, you know, like
there's different mirrors that fuck you up. Hotel mirrors make you look better.
Like department store mirrors? I might kill myself.
It's fucking clown those little like
and there's like three of them. Like I should never see myself.
Oh my god!
I'm like the rest of the world has to look at me from these angles. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then also the lighting is terrible.
Yeah.
And you just look fat as shit. I've never looked in a department store mirror when I'm like changing shirts, and been like, all right,
this is it.
It's always like, but then I'll look at home, and it's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the mirrors throw you off, man. There's so many different kind of mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in like hotels where I'm like, I'm not as
whoa, am I Thor?
I'm not as bad as I am, but as I thought, and I'd get home and I'm like, oh shit, never mind that. The lighting in the mirror and I don't know threw me off, you know.
Yeah.
This last weekend, Taylor Swift.
T-Swift?
Did you hear what? She released a short film.
Did she?
That was so she's re-releasing her new music, her old music.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's and everyone's like, yes, queen, and she's re-recording all.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. Like, is this a workaround from making a bad business deal? Like everyone hates Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
I don't know all the facts, but just from the outside looking in, it seems like someone made a bad business decision. It's playing catch up.
I watched the Taylor Swift documentary like a year ago.
Okay, thank God we have an informed.
She signed to a record label, and a part of her deal was you keep your composition copyright or like the songwriting and whatever, and then we keep your masters. You know, like we own your masters. That's the part of the record label. The record label got bought out, and I think it got sold to one company, and then that got bought out by Scooter. Okay. So it was like a part of...
So the masters were up for grabs.
It was owned by a company or by her record label, and I think her record label got acquired.
But she wasn't getting that money from her label anyways, though, right?
She was getting like maybe...
Just composition.
Yeah.
Okay, so she wasn't getting that other half to begin with.
I don't think so.
With the deal that she agreed to.
Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah, she didn't own her masters. And Scooter, like I think she made an offer to buy it, and Scooter was like, nope.
So he paid more money.
I think so.
And she's mad about that.
Well, he acquired the label, I believe,
with money, correct?
Yes. But they didn't give her an opportunity to buy. That's.
Oh, would she have matched?
I think
or
so.
paid more?
She's like the biggest pop star in the world. She makes more money than.
But why?
All of them.
Why would you pay that much money or pay more when you can do this backdoor thing, which is just I'll just re-record all of them and tell my fans not to.
Yeah, and I think that's what she did, and so she dated Jake Gyllenhaal about like 11 years ago when she was like 20 years old. Jake Gyllenhaal was a 30-year-old man. She was.
He didn't get canceled.
Ooh, he's not like.
Wasn't she very impressionable when she was 20?
Yeah, so he's not like technically getting canceled, but he's being dragged. So it's a difference, like you're getting roasted versus canceling, So they dated for 3 months. It was a very intense relationship. They broke up, and she wrote a song about him.
Par for the course.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who's dated Taylor Swift and gotten away unscathed?
Who knows?
And if so, are you hurt? Are you like, I didn't get a song?
I'd be blown.
It's called Mr. Forgettable. And he's like,
So she made the song 10 years ago. It's like 2011. Forgotten about. The song's forgotten about. I mean, it's not forgotten by the Swifties. We don't want to offend the Swifties. We apologize to the Swifties.
And sorry if it seems like I'm playing hardball with the Swift. I don't want no beef with the Swifties.
Not with the Swifties, the K-pop.
We love all of it.
All stands.
All of it. Stands of everything.
The barbs.
Just trying to understand.
Yeah.
Just trying to get information is all.
So,
we love her.
So now that she's re-releasing her old album, Red, she made a short film from this song that she released 10 years ago. So now the song is relevant again.
Nice.
And she made a 10-minute little short film. And
how is it?
It's a good. I mean, she apparently wrote and directed it. And,
whoa.
It's pretty solid. It's just a long music video with like a little like 5 or 2 minute like dialogue scene. And
it's like Michael Jackson videos.
Yeah,
the part that never makes it.
Yeah,
like once it gets on MTV. Like
they
how like Beat It with Wesley Snipes. There's all this dialogue that no one remembers.
And that was bad.
Oh yeah, bad.
Yeah,
sorry.
But yeah, it was basically that.
Or Remember the Time. There's like all this dialogue.
Yeah, and then just the dancing and the pop locking. And
it's like they get it from MTV gets it from Michael Jackson. They go, this is great. Yeah. Oh, it's 22 minutes. Yeah. I'll go. Yeah. And they do it once, and then the rest is just the music version.
They chop it down. So yeah, she did something like that, and so now everyone's like, all these girls were like, I was 10 years old when I first heard this song, and now I'm 20, and fuck Jake Gyllenhaal, like, and it was done well, and it makes Gyllenhaal look like a gaslighting like piece of shit guy,
But people love Jake Gyllenhaal. It's almost like,
for now, I don't like. I'm off the.
I thought people love his movies.
They do, but I'm off the Gyllenhaal bandwagon.
Whoa, because of T Swift?
No. I think it's very political.
What is?
His selection in a lot of the films that he does, and I love his films. I love the work that he's done. I think Nightcrawler is one of my favorite films that he's done. But yeah, so Gyllenhaal is in hot water right now. I mean, like, again, it's not cancelable, but he is, like, people are like,
I think it's kind of like, it's like sport. Yeah. I don't think it's real. It's not real cancel. It's like, yeah.
It's
pop candy sugar cancel.
Yeah. It's kind of like when Justin Timberlake, all that shit came up about, like, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. Everyone was like, oh yeah, fuck JT. And it's there for a minute until...
Wasn't it like Britney who cheated on Justin or something?
No, he drew first blood.
I love how you're like the resident expert on all things bullshit.
I watched a huge breakdown, TikTok, Twitter breakdown like years ago.
Ollie Belushi did an extensive deep dive on the Kanye Drake beef, so you can dig into some previous podcasts, get into that if you are unfamiliar.
Speaking of that, Kanye put out a 3-hour interview.
Drink Champs?
Yeah, did you watch it?
I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
He went for everyone, man. He was just swinging.
It's refreshing because he's reached a certain level.
Yeah.
And he has a certain skill set. He's self-made and like self-sufficient. He makes his own beats. Like he's his own brand. He's like a phenomenon now.
Yeah.
So he's unplugged. He doesn't need anyone to get ahead. So he can just say how he really feels.
That's the crazy part. And the worst part is, not the worst part, but the craziest part is he sees these people often. It's not like, because, they brought up Talib Kweli.
Yeah.
And he was like, he can't rap. In the second interview, he doubles down. Where he was like, I never liked his music. I never liked his raps. I'm like, dude, this guy like...
But then he'll tie it back to like politics and stuff, and the way that I think, because when he was doing the Trump stuff with the red hat, they're saying like, "Come back, man! What are you doing?"
Oh yeah,
and he kind of like holds that as a grudge.
It's a very
so that's part of it.
Yeah,
like he went after John Legend.
Common, where they're like
funny.
I mean, he made some points, and he was like Big Sean. Oh, he made a comment about Big Sean. He was like, it was the worst mistake I made signing Big Sean. Big Sean took to Twitter and was like, I saw the guy like an hour after he did this interview, and like
he's a nice guy.
And he posted a picture of them like after that interview, like at some like function. He was like, he never brought up any of this, and he was like, it was like business as usual,
Why did he say that it was the biggest mistake?
I don't know. He makes statements and then he gets sidetracked and he just carries on. He never said. I don't think he gave a very like definite answer, but yeah, he went after like, not after anybody, but he would. But one thing that would be interesting would he'd be like Soulja Boy. He's like, he's the future. He makes, he's culture. He like held culture down, this and that. But he had the shittiest verse.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was good and bad.
Yeah, and then Soulja Boy took to Twitter or Instagram Live, and was like. And he pulled up a text. He was like, Kanye just said this shit was like when he sent the verse. And he was like, Kanye said it was fire. He was like, why would he lie to me? This and that. So very fascinating.
We'll see how the other 2 hours are.
It was the first interview was like 2 hours, right? It was like 2.5 or something. The second one isn't really much of anything.
I just like how puffy the jacket is. That's in style now. Just like giant.
Yeah.
Kingpin looking leather jackets.
I'm looking for a winter because I'm planning I already booked my ticket for Europe. December 11th. I'll be going to Europe for like a month. But now I'm like, why am I doing this? Why? Like,
you want to, right?
I thought I wanted to. Now I'm like, did I just cancel my ticket? I don't know. Who knows?
Up in the air.
Yeah, I have my ticket and I need to take this flight because it bumps me up a tier in my like mileage.
Just trying to get your miles.
Yeah. So, are you doing anything not next week, but like for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'll be back in Seattle. So, I'm doing Austin. I'm doing like one gig.
Yeah.
I think Friday. Yeah, Friday, and then selling the Mazda while I'm out there.
Okay, the Mazda. So you've been driving stick for like 11, 12, 13 years now or something like that. You've acquired a new car that's automatic.
This is true.
Do you miss stick? Do you want to go back? Is it more, are you like, oh, why haven't I been driving automatic this entire time? You're a dying breed of individuals.
The stick shift guys?
Yeah.
It's true. I like that I know it.
Yeah.
And I know it inside and out. I've just been driving it for so long. It's a rare skill. It's getting more and more extinct these days.
Yeah.
But I don't like miss it driving it every day or something,
Okay.
And yeah.
When you drive, I don't know, because there's always this like romanticized, like,
if I had a cool sports car or something,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But okay.
Yeah, but like just daily drive commutes and stuff. it's not really necessary.
Okay. All right. Especially with LA and it's infamous
People would always
traffic.
say that, like, oh man, stick shift in LA driving.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to move your hand a little bit. And you're already bored as shit anyways.
It keeps you occupied.
Yeah, why not have something to do?
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so you're gonna do Austin then.
So do a gig in Austin, sell my car, and then fly to Seattle Sunday. Stay there for that week for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Come back. Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
I'm my dad was like, my dad's in Virginia and he was getting kind of bored and he was like, while I finish this thought up, you want to grab mailbag or?
Oh yeah, sure. Fire it up. We don't got a ton. We got a few.
No, that's fine. He was talking about like, yeah, I want to come out to LA and I'm like, oh man, like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know where to take him or how to entertain him. And I'm like, but I work too. I work till 3 and then I'm like, we can do something after that. But he was, so I was like, all right, I'll book your ticket for this coming Friday. So I called him and I was like, hey, yeah, I got your ticket. And he was like, when'd you get it for? I was like, Friday. He was like, oh man. He was like, you couldn't do it any earlier? And I was like, thinking maybe an earlier flight. I was like, when were you thinking? He was like, tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll book your ticket for tomorrow. Now I'm like, what do I do for a week and a half while we're here, you know? So I don't know, man. So for our listeners, if you guys have any ideas, any suggestions,
What to do?
yeah, I'm taking him ziplining
Whoa.
one of the days.
I've never been ziplining.
I think you'll have fun with that. And then I'm doing a Catalina trip.
The wine mixer?
Just a ferry out there, the Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah. You gonna do some golf carts while you're out there?
I think so. I think I might
That's the
just
thing to do.
Yeah, I hear that's what people just do. But I'll try to look at all these things to do in there in Catalina and just like take golf carts and do the underwater submarine.
Nice.
And that's it. Maybe some horseback.
Yeah. Let me know how your dad likes that.
Griffith Park horseback riding.
Mailbag, we got like 3.
All right, let's knock these 3 out.
All right, we got this. It's pretty much 3 from the Chavezes. The Chavezes.
Ah.
So we got Mark Chavez, remember, who unsubscribed?
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Wow.
And then he subscribed.
He subscribed.
And now we don't know what his status is currently.
Well, I guess we're about to find out.
All right, let's see. This is episode 90, Pie Guy. Hey guys, I'm catching up on Ep. So sorry for the late reply, but Fahim is in the clear. The pie was in general pop. No note and no email to the team. I hope the pie was good. And those other dudes set you up if they didn't get a slice. Haha, great banter on the lawyer and pie investigation. Haha, Mark. Sent from my iPhone. All right.
Okay.
All right. And then this one's from Philip Chavez.
Oh, nice.
The plot thickens. Jabroni of the week. Hey guys, this is in response to your Jabroni of the week, Mark Chavez. He was our Jabroni last episode.
Is this the same guy with different email accounts and just
No,
change?
I believe he really has a brother.
Okay.
He wouldn't
Oh,
fabricate
these
a
are
brother.
brothers.
They are brothers.
Oh.
It says, he's my brother, parentheses, insert dramatic music.
If I would have waited a second, you would have.
This is true.
Yeah.
He messaged me telling me you guys ripped him a new one for unsubscribing, and boy, did ya. I was cracking up and fully support his temporary jabroni status. I say temporary because since he told me about this pod, I have subscribed, 5-star, and have been listening and watching your episodes.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully this gets him out of jabroni jail. And if not, fuck him. Lol. you guys are rad and keep my workday rolling. Keep up the good shit. Ali, if Enterprise questions why you took the shuttle, tell them you were waiting for your friend's plane that's landing in a half an hour. If that doesn't work, run and keep some marbles in your bag so you can throw them down as they chase you. Peace.
That's actually a clever thing.
I think that's better than the advice that you gave earlier.
Yeah.
Marbles.
Marbles.
You don't need to say anything.
Yeah. Toss them.
Yeah, toss them. All right, Mark Chavez, Jabroni of the Week Part 2. What's up, guys? I know my little bro tried to redeem my jabroni status, but had to write in to say thanks for ripping me a new one and setting me straight. My bad for being honest, but I felt ghosted for 5 months. I should have DM'd you to make sure you would reunite soon. Keep the content coming, and I'm trying to get my other buddy to listen to your pod as well. Peace out, Mark.
Well, I mean, you brought us 2 new subscribers.
That's true. You brought your bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that counts. Philip seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Mark is clawing his way back, but Philip is number 1. What if every week we just have like a standing order of like
where the Chavez is.
like a leaderboard of Chavezes.
Yeah. Right now,
saying multiple Chavezes is hard.
Yeah.
Like the plural of Chavez is tough. Chavezes.
Yeah.
Could it be Chavai?
Chavanette.
Chavanites?
The Chavanettes.
The Chavanites? The Chavanettes.
That's my go-to now. Anytime we have plurals, they're the nets. Yeah.
That's the Motown plural of anything. Is ets.
Yeah. That's all we got?
That's all we got.
Well, we had a great episode this week.
You know, you're all caught up. Trying to think. Those are all the shows I have pretty much. Just that Austin one. It's like ATX Sunset I'm playing.
Brittany didn't cheat.
Oh yes, please. Oh,
I'm sorry.
we almost ended the episode without clarifying this Britney Spears.
Justin
Justin Timberlake.
She was hanging out with like her choreographer. She didn't cheat.
What is that supposed to mean?
Didn't cheat. She did not cheat. But
the way they dance, they might as well.
That's what Justin said. And,
Did he really?
He kind of said something along those lines.
Was it like Dirty Dancing, like Swayze?
No, she was
in
just
the Catskills. She was just grinding,
going out with going to dinners or stuff, and people were like, "What is this? The tabloids." He believed the tabloids, didn't believe her. Anyway, it was a great episode.
It's a real morose note to end it on. He believed the tabloids, not her. That's why you should always listen to your partner. All right, we'll see you guys next time. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
And what song are we jamming out to?
Well, first, we got to give them the rundown. 5 stars, thumbs up, comment, rate, review, all that shit.
Yeah.
Write into the pod.
Write in.
We like hearing from you guys.
We actually do.
Write in. We know we got the Chavez market on lock.
Yeah.
But if you maybe have a last name that isn't Chavez, that would be cool.
We had another sibling group that used to email us.
I think we had some sisters.
Yeah, the sisters.
Yeah.
What happened to you guys?
What happened to the sisters?
Get back in the mailbag. We used to love your opinions.
Yeah, quit pulling a Chavez and get back into the game.
You know what it is? I think once people lost the air fryer competition, they just...
Oh, fuck.
They were just turned away.
You're right.
It was the air fryer.
I dangled that in front of them, and then they thought I was Oprah or something. They thought I was like Ellen.
Or you're just giving away.
And then it became about the sweepstakes.
Yeah.
It became about the air fryer, and it wasn't about like the message and the positivity and the perspective and what this podcast is all about. It just became twisted into a Ninja Foodie air fryer giveaway.
Insane.
And that's not like why we got into the podcast game initially.
It's not who we are.
Remember when we talked and we're like, let's change some hearts and minds.
Yeah.
And get people to get through their workday a little easier.
Let's take the burden of life off their shoulders.
Of them.
Yeah.
And then, I had these delusions of air fryer grandeur. This
is what happens when you
hungry.
Work, at a freaking, prime time TV show.
You get drunk with air fryer power and money.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Like it's like a stick of gum to
some
me
of the greats.
At this point.
This is the same thing that happened to some of the other greats, that went down this path.
Some of the great comedians.
The hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh yes.
Same thing. He got caught up in the air fryer.
Oh, Mark Cooper, you mean?
Mark Cooper. Yeah.
I've seen Mark Cooper at the Comedy Store. Sometimes he comes by.
Well, he's just a legend at this point,
An air fryer legend?
Yeah, air fryer legend.
He had a good run. I'm sure he's still doing well. But I used to watch Hang Out with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, used to. But
I still do.
You know why it ended? Because of the air fryers. He gave away too many air fryers to the crew.
Yo, is that the start of the downward descent?
For many individuals.
Do you think I could come back from this air fryer misstep?
Dude. Yeah, you're different.
Guys, write in. Let me know if I can come back from my air fryer misstep.
Do you know this one comedian? I think his name is Titus.
Christopher Titus?
Yeah.
I know of him.
Yeah, because he was a comedian back in the early 2000s. Because I remember.
I'm sure he still is.
Well, that's what I was wondering if he was in the scene, the comedy scene.
It's weird. Sometimes there are stand-up comedians who are pretty big.
Yeah.
And they do well and they have fans and they tour, but they don't do the clubs or they don't stay sharp. I'm sure they stay sharp in their own way.
Yeah.
But they don't do it in the traditional sense that they bounce around and do spots at the Improv or do spots at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
I'll see Bill Burr at the store. I'll see Marc Maron. Everyone is kind of sharpening their blades at the comedy clubs in Hollywood. But Joe Coy, very funny and selling out Staples and doing all. He's just he's never been a guy who just gets up at clubs in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to, because he can write on the road, I guess, or he can write at his shows.
Yeah.
Just the way he does it is different.
Okay.
There are certain guys like Christopher Titus, I think, is like that as well.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't do like the Hollywood clubs or New York clubs to like work on his hour. He does it in this other way. Like,
okay.
Maybe he does it at his actual shows.
Gotcha.
Maybe he like sharpens it on the road. I'm a guy who writes bits in town. And then once I have enough bits, I kind of like string an hour together and then I take it out of town.
Yeah.
I don't really I don't write material on the road.
Yeah.
I like present material on the road.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I might find little things when I'm on the road, but it's not like I come back from the road and I'm like, I've got a 20-minute chunk. I just got 20 new minutes from doing the road. I like develop in town.
Okay.
That goes for all 3 cameras.
All 3, man.
I develop in town.
There you go.
Write into us, guys. fahimanwardancehour@gmail.com. That's all I wanted to say.
That's it. And Fahim is pulling up the track that we're going to be. So for those of you on YouTube, you'll be able to hear this song.
No. Only audio. Well, I guess both. On YouTube, there'll be a hyperlink to it in the description. Audio, it'll play after this.
Oh, that's right. On Spotify.
Yeah, because YouTube will want to.
That's right.
Don't want to take.
So yeah, the
away.
Spotify listeners, you'll hear this song. For the YouTube viewers, you guys have to go on Spotify to hear the song, or click on the link.
Click on the YouTube link below.
And if you guys want to support the podcast, you can chip into the monthly Patreon, and you get the exclusive Fahim Anwar Dance Hour playlist.
A lot of tracks. A lot of tracks, baby.
A lot of music.
We do one a week on this one, and this is for the peons.
Yeah.
This is for the groundlings. But if you are, upper tier, upper crust, you get more jams.
What about merch? Merch is still available?
Merch is still available, I believe.
Make your way to...
You go fahimanwar.com. I believe it's on there, and then there might be a link for it as well in the description. Yeah, check it out.
If you take a picture, if you purchase merch, take a picture and email it to us.
We'll throw a picture of you up there.
Throw a picture.
We'll throw a picture of you wearing it up there.
Yeah. There's mugs too, I believe.
There's mugs. There's maybe socks. I forget what's in there. There's a lot of good stuff that you could support
check
the
it
podcast
out
with.
Buy some merch. Send us a selfie with you, and we'll throw it up on an episode.
Yeah,
to show our appreciation.
And then just the standard playlist, the Fahim Anwar Dance Hour Spotify playlist. That's what it's called. Every song that we play, it ends up on there. And the Patreon is just for those and much, much more.
Yeah.
All right, this song this week is called My Island Remix, and it's by DCS Lefty and Teddi Gold. Those guys did it.
Another hit.
Another jam. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Peace out, yo.
Peace.
Take care.